All right, my beautiful friends, and you are all beautiful. I just happen to know that. It's the truth. All right, look, here we go. Post-market wrap-up on this Thursday, January 23rd, 2020. What a day. The propaganda was laughable, and we're gonna cover a few things here. All right, so stocks finished mixed after being down almost the entire day, and this virus is being blamed for it. The virus was being blamed for stocks being lower all day long. Then, when stocks reversed, at the same time, crude reversed. No, all of a sudden the virus story went out the window. This is nonsense, okay? This virus is not driving the stock market. You must be convinced of it because you're not allowed, it's above your pay grade, according to them, to understand that the price of crude must be kept high to prop up the stock market. I cannot stress this enough to you. It's an incredible thing. All day long, it's the virus. It's the virus. Crude oil was down about 3%. The Dow was down about almost 200 points. It's the virus. It's the virus. All of a sudden, crude starts to turn around, cut its losses in half at one point, and stocks were almost positive. Oh, wait a minute. It's not the virus. Duh! You can't, look, this is the world we are living in. It is absolutely sick and twisted. And it's going to get much worse too. So we need to put a few other things together. But before I get there, metals did pretty much nothing. Cryptos got hit today. And what I want to do here is cover a few things with you before I get to my finale here. So I'm going to open up a window and I'm going to just read. I'm going to try not to crack up or flip out here. And you know I can't make you any promises. But right off the bat, with stocks mostly positive, no more virus talk. It's incredible, isn't it? It really is. I want to bring a few things, like I said, to your attention today. And some of it, I believe at least, you're going to find maybe almost too far-fetched to believe. But in this market and the way things are, I don't believe that you will believe that. As a matter of fact, here's an article that was floated out. It's incredible. Gasoline prices are falling, and it's the virus. I'm not kidding you. Coronavirus could send them even lower. Nonsense. It's crude oil, which is getting culled. Okay? But no. You have to believe it's the virus. It's the virus. Oh, yeah, virus. Wow. I tell you, the stuff they come up with is absolutely freaking mind-blowing. Here's another one. When the Dow was down 145 points, it was blamed on the virus. But the recovery, I guess it wasn't the virus's fault after all. You can't make this stuff up. It's absolutely incredible. Now, here's something I want to talk to you about. This is Jamie Dimon. You know who Jamie Dimon is. He's the CEO of the largest bank by assets on the planet. Now, JP Morgan is one of the banks that run the Fed. So when you hear a statement like this come out of his mouth, and this is him, the Federal Reserve is fueling a sovereign debt bubble and negative rates won't end well. Well, if you follow my blog, you don't need Jamie Dimon to tell you that, because I've been explaining this to you since time immemorial. But the laughable part of this equation is JP Morgan is one of the banks that run the Fed. But you can't know that either. It's like the virus. It's the same thing. It's bizarre, but this is the world we are living in. And again, more talk about what the Fed repo is doing. People, look, maybe we will talk about the Fed repo operation real quick. What I have done in the description of this video is put a link to an article I wrote, which is a nice snapshot of the Federal Reserve's balance sheet over just the past 3 months. Again, this is one of those things you're not supposed to know, you're not supposed to see, hear, or think about. But for those of you that have a few functioning brain cells, I'm sure you want to take a look at this for yourself. Oh, and hashtag Woodrow? You need to know about hashtag Woodrow as well, or Woodrow. It's also in that short article with the Fed's balance sheet over the last 3 months. It is hyper ballooning. Again, don't call it QE. This is the Fed buying everything. Buying everything. It's unprecedented. And again, the silence is deafening. Not a peep out of the president. Now, what I want you to understand with regard to the president, he keeps calling for negative rates multiple times over the past few days. What does this mean for the now hyper-ballooning Federal Reserve balance sheet? It's going to double. It's going to double. And again, what's the mechanism behind it? This is the final solution. The end game, the goal of the Fed is to issue more debt. So again, when members of the Fed, Yellowstone, you know who Yellowstone is, hears the president going, negative rates, negative rates, he goes like this. He loves it because it allows the Fed to issue more of their product, which is debt, creating slaves on an industrial scale. The United States as a whole is a slave to the Federal Reserve. Let me put a perspective on this for you a little more. I had to write this down. The Federal Reserve balance sheet right now is larger than the GDP or gross domestic product of Russia, Canada, Brazil, Italy, France, the UK, and Germany, just to name a few. I want you to think about what I just said, and if you don't believe me, look it up for yourself. And this is about to get much worse. There's no doubt about it. Even if the president does not get his wish for lower rates, still, the Fed's balance sheet is going to balloon from here. Hyper balloon. But again, let me ask you, since you're all so smart, and I know you are, how does the Fed suppress rates? How would the Fed institute actual negative rates, although we have negative rates now, because anyone with an interest earning account is earning less than the actual rate of inflation. But let's say, all things being equal, President Trump finally gets his wish and we are going to get negative rates. Going to be great for the multinational corporations. Watch the stock market. But the middle class will be devastated even further than they are. Okay, losing purchasing power, earning even less on their interest earning accounts. But you can't know that like the virus. You can't know it. So let's say, how does it happen? The Fed has to crank up that printing press, add digits to a screen, and buy the debt. What happens to the balance sheet? Woof! Through the roof. You got it? It's simple to understand. Now, you can either sit in your deliberately induced coma. Look, the mainstream media, the political cults out there, the market manipulators, going back to Woodrow. Go find out about Woodrow. Again, it's in the description of this video, a link. You won't believe what Woodrow is. And Woodrow is real, okay? Very few people know about it, but it's real. And I'm telling you about it right here and right now. But I'm going to let you do a little research instead of telling you because I want you to earn it, all right? You want to know what Woodrow is? Earn it. Click on the link in the description of this video. So again, this is a charade. It is a game being played on everyone that's lulled into some type of a coma as all this stuff is going on right under their nose. But again, I think now, I hope you understand what this means. Negative rates, great for corporate America. For you, it's like get a kick in the crotch by like a world champion kickboxer. But the president wants you to think it's a good thing because he believes you're stupid. You know that, right? Yeah. Again, go to his Twitter feed. Every time he mentions negative rates, you got the imbeciles cheering him on. Yay! Negative rates! We're a bunch of retards. It's just too much. It really is. It's look. Negative rates. You like that? Yeah. Anyway, it's a lot worse than that. It's more like this. Negative. Do I make it a little bit entertaining? Do you ever check these comments? Some people get offended when I do things like this. They get offended. They probably don't get offended when they get lied to about a virus or they told that negative rates are really great. That doesn't offend them. No. But this? That offends them. Sorry. I'm not going to stop. You don't like it? Unsub. People, look, pretty straightforward here. Stocks made a miraculous turnaround, and it was all about Woodrow. 100%. Okay? The Fed's balance sheet is going to hyperballoon, regardless if the president gets his wish on negative rates. But if he gets his wish, and I think he will, the Fed's balance sheet is going to double. Again, the Federal Reserve balance sheet is already higher than the GDP of most countries on Earth. Sounds good? Well, to them, it's the greatest thing on Earth because they're getting to issue in their final solution. The final solution to issue more debt. That's what they want. That's what they exist for. Debt is their only product. Period. Anyway, hope this makes sense to you. Please share the video. Again, last time, in the description of this video is a link. I want you to have a look at the balance sheet, the Fed's balance sheet, just over the last 3 months, and I want you to find out for yourself what Woodrow is. Love all of you. See you in the morning.